We're doing a sound check. We're seeing what we sound like. Turn the volume up a little bit. How do you sound, Brandon?
Hello, hello, 1, 2.
Sound check.
We're about to test the sound. This is Brandon, 1, 2. This is my low end.
So here we are. We are with Geocean. We are testing sound with Brando. How
Yeah,
you doing, Brando?
pretty good, pretty good. We are filling in for Geocean currently.
We are with Oh, and we're getting the echo on the Mac that we're using to test sound. Our first error of the day. There's always going to be an error. We're still getting used to the podcast format. Even though we do this for a fucking living, we're still getting used to this. But I'm happy we're back. We went to Vegas. Why don't you tell us what the fuck we did in Vegas before we introduce our guest?
So, we went down to Vegas. We shot some promotional media for Dogface.
Yeah.
But, had people coming up to us everywhere we went asking for photos.
He's a hard man to work with, right?
He's
not because
so
he's not
popular.
lovely.
No, he's an amazing person,
but
super
he
humble.
Gets swamped.
Yeah, he literally gets swarmed by people, and like I'm just like watching it, and I'm just in amazement because I'm like the humility of this man as he's getting approached by people nonstop as we're walking through Vegas casinos and like just going to do photo shoots, and no matter where we go, he's never too busy to take photos. I'm like that's the energy, you know. So yeah, we went down there, shot some promo work, and then we ended up doing some promotional media. Was that through ICE or Indigenous Biz?
A
little bit of.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah?
There's just Biz at ICE,
Yeah. Because I remember seeing both banners at the gathering where Dogface was doing the meet and greet and stuff. So, yeah, that was what we were doing.
That's what we're doing in Vegas. And we're lucky enough to be in the studio. We got someone who's about to get mobbed on the streets of hopefully Vegas or even other smaller cities, coming to a city near you. We have G Ocean, who I was calling G Easy earlier because I was in between a thought. And he said, "Who's the guest?" I said, G Easy. And he goes, G Easy. And I was writing an email and I just confused your name with something else. And so that was sorry to tell you that, guest, but I called you G Easy earlier.
It's all good.
So tell us about yourself, man. What's up?
Yeah, so I'm G Ocean from Thunder Bay, Ontario. I was born in the States, but I moved here, basically lived here all my life. And I've been making music for a little while now, and I'm excited to be on the podcast. Yeah.
No, yeah. You know, we're excited to have you. It's been, like I said, a couple of weeks. We're out of practice. We were in Vegas. I'm still recovering from the hangover. We got 2 days of sun.
That was amazing. The fact that the rest of the days were like storms, like windy storms, is wild.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
I've never been to Vegas. No. How was Vegas though? How long did you guys go for?
We went Sunday. And then we
2nd until the 7th.
Until the 7th, we left the Friday, and we had the worst trip back because we had to go through Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Gilbert. Shout out Dallas. Yeah. He was in Atlanta when we passed through, and we tried to make a show, but we couldn't because we were just passing through an airport.
Yeah.
And so it was weird that Thunder Bay was kind of like growing because we were both there for work. So it was crazy that Thunder Bay guys could be in Atlanta, Georgia.
I think I don't know if you guys know Zach with the Pack. I think Zach was with him too, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
I think so.
Yeah, right on. Cool.
And so we passed through there. We did a 6-hour layover, and then we came back, and we were pretty dead. And it was just but it was nice to have those 2 days. We didn't really drink too much those last 2 days. The first days we did it up way too much. We did karaoke.
Vegas, right?
We did karaoke with Dogface. I gotta say, one love Dogface. I got you into karaoke. You know it's the truth. And he didn't really want to do it. And I was like, yo, you're going to come do a karaoke. I'm a huge karaoke fan.
Yeah.
I got him to come. And now every time I see him, we go rent a room.
Yeah.
And then we do private karaoke. Whoever's with us is coming. If you're against it and you're like, no, I don't sing, you're like, you're coming and you're singing.
Yeah. I mess with karaoke. It's a fun time. It really breaks a lot of ice for relationships, you know. It's like you got to go up there and sing, and like people are all nervous, but then they break free and they're like just singing their heart out. It's great.
I think it's great. Yeah. So tell me, because Brandon, I'm gonna steal your question. Tell me how you tell me about the music, what you've done in the past. Tell me how you got into music.
Okay, how I got into music was back in high school. It was grade 9 or 10. And it was we had an English project. And on the English project, under the contents, it was you can write an essay, you can do a couple other things, and then it was you can make a song. And I was I can make a song. I hate essays. I really didn't enjoy doing essays. So I was I'll try and make a song. My friend Dustin, he makes beats and stuff, and he had a little recording setup. And I was like, hey, can you help me make this song? And he's like, yeah, sure. So it was this little short story called King of the Raft.
Okay.
And I summarized the story even shorter into a song, and it's still on SoundCloud to this day. But it's like, yeah, it's called King of the Raft, and it's like this little this little short story about this like kid who fights this kid who was like trying to mess with his raft, and then like they get in a fight, and then like the whole town like hates this other kid because he tried to like drown him, and then yeah, I guess you could listen to the song, but yeah, like that's kind of how I sort of got into it, because I was just messing around with my friend making this English project, and then I was like, man, I enjoy making music, and we just kept making music from that day on, and then yeah.
Can I ask you guys something and sort of go off topic here, but
okay.
Is SoundCloud still a thing?
I would say 100%. Like I feel like there's some people that like with any sort of social media, like some people are like, oh, I don't really use Twitter, or like I don't really use Instagram, but like SoundCloud is like a really great way to like find and discover like underground artists.
Okay.
And it's really underrated. And it was supposed to like, I think it got like it was gonna get taken down, SoundCloud, but then Chance the Rapper like bought it and like funded it so it stays live, because it wasn't like generating profit kind of thing.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a way that it would generate profit, because I mean,
they have ads now.
When we used to fuck with it, like SoundCloud was like, you'd put your stuff up, you'd share it with your friends, you'd use it for promotions. We'd use it for promotions back in the day when They Meet was doing music, and then you'd be swamped with shitty rappers' songs. I don't know if that's still the case. Oh yeah, but it was
that's with like anytime you're like looking through, like trying to find new music. Like there's always going to be like probably like 90 to 80% of the music that you're going to find like you're not going to be interested in. But like it's about like kind of, it's almost like mining. Like you're going to find diamonds eventually.
It's like targeting,
Yeah.
And you're a diamond.
I'd like to say so.
You'd like to say so? Okay. And so you get introduced to music through high school, through the song. You come from the US, and then so I'm just curious, what are your topics? Are you old school rapper? Are you new school rapper? Like
I feel like I'm kind of still finding my sound, because I've done like some indie stuff, and I've done like a lot of like rap, but I'm also like, I have like a band that I'm collaborating with. Like a rock band.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll be doing something with them.
We've been talking about that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty pumped for that, actually. Like it feels like I like singing and stuff like that. Like I love rapping.
Okay.
But like singing kind of feels like my calling or something. It just feels like what I should do.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
I think we've seen that. I think we've seen that with Mercules, right? Mercules kind of went down the singing route, which is super surprising for me, because when I met Merc, we did a video a long time ago. He was straight slaying people with rap. Like he was like, that was maybe older school hip hop. Like
I loved. I don't know if you know the show Sway in the Morning.
Oh yeah, of course.
I loved his 5 Fingers of Death. That was dope. That was dope. Right? Dope. Yeah.
Merc's shown that he can be like the best rapper in any given room, plus also sing like the best in the room. And so going to you, B the Wiz, because our friend here is making a drink. He's talking about rock bands. We've talked about it. What do you think about messing with rock band, doing rock band raps and shit like that? I love it.
I was gonna say I currently have a drummer and a guitarist.
Oh, I didn't even know you were that far along.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What the fuck did you say?
A guitarist.
A guitar. Okay, so the 1980s.
Like the synth, like guitar, but keyboard. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Shout out Kenzie and shout out Danny. Those are the two people so far that I'm working with. I have a lot of synth in my music because I work with Jaw, as you know. So I really wanted to be able to have those elements of the synth in my music and not have to take away from those. So having that guitar is huge for me. So
what do you think about a guitar?
I don't even know what a guitar is. I'd be honest with you.
Okay, guitar. In the 80s, guitars were kind of
is it like
a keyboard with
literally
strap?
a keyboard on it?
Yeah.
There's no strings, right? It's just
it's a key. It's a key.
Cool.
It's a guitar.
I mess with pianos hard, so that sounds cool.
Yeah. You mess with piano. Okay, tell me, what do you mean you mess with piano?
I just really like one of my favorite artists is Polo G, and he does a lot of. He does a lot of
We mess with Polo G. We did work with him.
He does He does a lot of songs with like piano beats.
Yeah, 100%.
And even just like regular, singers that just like play the piano and sing. Like I feel like the piano is like, it's like dramatic, and it really like brings out a lot of kind of like similar to like a violin. Like it kind of brings a lot of like drama to the, like, I don't know the word I'm trying to find, but like, you know what I mean? Like it brings a lot of like, kind of emotional depth is a good way to put it. Yeah.
We did some stuff with Bolo G with Chief Supreme. We worked and did all the media for him going in and
for that one at Fort William Gardens.
Yeah, and so we did documentary and stuff.
Dope, yeah, he's my favorite artist.
He's
man.
a dope dude.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, Gio goes and touches his mic. I always call him Gio. I know him as Gio George. He's Chief Supreme and everyone else, but I'm going to keep calling him Gio. When I say Gio, I mean Chief Supreme.
I get the reference though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm with Gio, and he goes and touches his mic, and his manager comes up and he's like, "Don't fucking touch that mic." and Gio's like, "Whoa!" He thought it was like it's Polo G's mic. He just wanted to see what someone at the top of their craft uses.
Yeah.
And that guy's like, "Don't fucking touch that mic. It's like a $20,000 mic."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, like when it gets to that level of craft,
prestige,
they have
right?
$20,000 wireless mics that
I'm not surprised.
yeah, and they have like a range of a kilometer, and they do high bandwidth sound, and that's what you get at that level." And so he got to see it and pick it up and experience like the superior engineering at that level.
Yeah.
And I love that he got to see that, because it's like you'll go to a music store and there's mics and you're like, "Oh man, it's $1,200 mics, a great mic." There's mics that aren't in music stores.
Yeah,
like,
and sometimes like just because something has a high price doesn't mean that it's like quality. But obviously, like for the majority of the time, like
you're saying I'm cheap.
No, I'm saying for the majority of the time. No, I'm like the guy who like goes to thrift stores and everything. Like if I can find a bargain, I'm getting the bargain every time. But I was just trying to say that like
the champ sweater.
Yeah. This is from a thrift store, man. It's like an old champ sweater.
But it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
No, but like for sure. Like sometimes like the price doesn't necessarily mean quality. So it's
for
like,
real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We definitely mess with some. Oh, you're grabbing a drink too?
Yeah.
These guys are behind the scenes. I wish we had a third person here who could move the camera. I put some drinks on the table because I never met G Ocean, and I was like, you know what, a couple of drinks will make the show slide along.
I love it, man.
And Spice Rum's getting broken out. Yeah, I feel by the end of the podcast, we used to be like brothers. Like, man, I always fucked with you, G Ocean. Like you were always like the like. No, but it's cool to have you in. Have you ever done any other podcasts? I'm just curious.
The one I've done is the Michaelated with.
The Michaelated. Okay.
That's the only one I've done.
Yeah. Shout out, Michaelated. Never having me on. You can come on mine if you want, but we're derelict with the Michaelated. How was the Michaelated?
It was good. Yeah, it was a good podcast. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's very short and concise.
I love him.
More short and concise words about the Michaelated. So
he's a really genuine guy. Like, he showed some love, and I showed love back. Like, he was a good guy.
Okay,
I just feel like he's genuinely curious because like he's not super tapped into the hip hop scene.
Okay,
so whenever he meets us, he's always like learning and like,
for sure.
He's just an open to learning.
Yeah,
you know? Like
I think in general, like the whole Thunder Bay scene is like something that has like a really high opportunity to like grow, and like anyone can take it over. So like it's only a matter of time. Like there's a lot of like, especially with hip hop and everything, like it's really starting to grow around the city, and like I feel like the more people that jump on board are gonna be rewarded in the future.
So this is confusing me. Are you saying the Michaelated's gonna take over?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying anyone.
It's very your tangent's gonna.
I meant like anyone can like be a part of this thing that's growing. Yeah, like anyone can join. That's what I like to see.
Like the hip hop community.
Yeah.
And then just
Okay, so tell me the experience with the hip hop community and where you're at, because like back.
Okay, where I've rapped, yeah.
No, where you're at. Yeah, where you've rapped. Like how far back do you go? I'm just curious.
Not that far. Like like back in high school, like my first like breakout song was called "Hesitate."
Well, I know that song.
Okay, word. And that was like in 2018.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my first like.
Oh shit, you're that new.
Release. Yeah, that was like my first.
I saw that. And
that was like my first like real rap song kind of.
I recognize you from the hair. Like,
yeah, right on.
And I was like, okay, I saw you, and I'm like, oh shit. And I asked, I'll be on a podcast. Okay, that's crazy. And so, where have you performed then in town? Like, what's your biggest show?
My biggest show is probably when I didn't like necessarily fully open for him, but I was like opening with Zach with the Pack and like Liam McGuire from Beijing Records. I opened with them for, man, what's his name?
Oh, it's not a good look.
I remember that.
It's okay. Wait, so
I know
I know the song though. It's
I
like
forget his name.
it's like Code 45, 2 zigzags.
Afro Man.
Baby, that's all we need. Yeah, Afro Man.
Afro
yeah,
Man.
So that
you
was the
forgot
biggest-
Afro Man.
I just forgot his name for a second. I know
Afro
he's an OG.
Man?
I know he's an OG.
Holy
you know.
fuck.
But yeah, so I got to open for him, and that was really cool because I was like, oh, I got like a big audience. That was like my first time having a big audience.
Afro Man's the real deal.
He was so cool, man.
He's a super nice dude.
He had this like big like marijuana leaf guitar. It looked so sick.
Did he wear the suit and shit?
Yeah,
crazy
he was
suit?
wearing a
Okay,
suit.
yeah.
He looked dope, and he was a great performer. I learned a lot from him, honestly. Like the way he interacted with the crowd and like was able to like bring up morale was super cool.
For
like,
real.
I was really inspired by it.
Yeah, for real. Afro Man's like, he's like those, like you don't see so much of that anymore. Like guys just kind of show up cockily on stage and they just kind of perform, and it's assumed that everyone's going to cheer along. But he's a guy who like you don't really know him, you don't mess with him. You showed up to the show,
he was
you're
like telling stories, telling jokes in between his songs, and then
he'll get you in even if you don't know who he is.
Yeah,
he was great. Yeah, I was a fan. Yeah.
His set is actually like a prime example of how veterans can continue to be active and like interact.
Because like I was totally a fan.
You should give it a pimp out.
I 100% agree with that.
Afro Man,
like before the
seeing
show
you back
and
in the
everything,
day, you're hella healthy. It was nice to work with you. It was great. So
like before the show, I was already a big fan, but then after the show, I was like, wow. Like I was just so impressed by.
He's
like,
a nice dude.
Like
He's actually a really
being
nice
an artist
dude.
myself, I was like, wow. Like I was so impressed by the way that he like interacted with the crowd and like engaged everyone and like just put on a good show for real. Like it was great.
Whatever happened with that with the Chocolate song that you guys were doing?
That it actually just dropped today, I think.
It dropped today.
Yeah,
oh, did it?
I wasn't on it. It's Jeb,
I thought you guys were.
Cody and the Illest, Jeb, O Rose, Liam, and then Chocolate, I believe.
Chocolate.
That's a lot of features.
It is, yeah. But yeah, no, they all got in the studio when Chocolate came down, and shout out to Cody and the Illest and Daydream Records for bringing Chocolate down. That was a wicked show to be a part of.
And then Liam's doing a show tonight. Check it out. Friday, he's got $1,000 and stuff, I guess, that he's giving out. Anything from
tonight.
bombs,
Yeah.
huge joints. I might go check it out.
Yeah.
I might go because, like, I'm not going to lie. I have gone
if
into
you
it
come,
with
I'll
these
see you
guys.
there. Me and
I'm not.
Be the Wiz will see
I'm
you
not
there.
promoting. I'm not promoting drinking for anybody out there who's like on the up and up. You know what I mean? Good on you, but not good on me because I'm having this place from. So okay, let's talk about favorite drink.
My favorite drink?
Your favorite drink?
Are we talking about alcohol?
Let's go off road.
Alcohol or
no more
anything?
hip hop. What's your favorite drink?
Alcohol or
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, not alcohol.
okay,
Anything.
I'll go both. Okay, so like not alcohol, iced tea.
Iced tea. Okay,
It's like my
delicious.
favorite
It's
drink.
delicious.
Like, I devour
Okay,
iced tea.
American iced tea, where it's sweet tea,
Okay,
or just
no.
Canadian.
I go to America
Nestea?
like my family's from Boston.
That's what I'm
and, like I
saying.
go there
And tea's
and like I'm
different
like,
there.
hey, can I get an iced tea? And they bring me real tea that's like on ice, and I'm like,
that's
bro.
totally different. Yeah, that's what I mean. So sweet tea is
cold
like
tea?
it can be
I love
off-putting to
cold
a
tea.
Canadian who's used to Nest tea, and then they get iced tea, and it's cold tea with no sugar in it.
I love that. I still remember me and Nate when we were in Toronto, me and Young Shellac, we got there and we were like in a rush to eat that night, and we like showed up at this Chinese place, and it's called the Moon Gardens, and they had cold tea, and like we ordered cold tea not knowing what to expect, and it was like just
cold tea.
Yeah, cold
regular tea, no sugar at all.
But it was
They
delicious.
just give it to you. Oh, it was good.
It was
you liked
so
it?
good. Yeah.
I'm not
Okay,
a fan,
so we got the tea, and the United States tea is a little different. So
Yeah.
what's the drink then?
I'm a little different when it comes to like alcohol because I've grown up just kind of like drinking like out of the bottle. Like I really like
Out of the bottle.
I
What
like-
you mean? You drink it straight from the bottle and no mix?
Jack Daniels.
Hard liquor.
Jack Daniels. Okay,
Yeah.
my wife would love you right now. But
But I do love like I love like rum and Coke, and I've even tried like apple juice and Jack Daniels, which is pretty good. You showed me Powerade and vodka tonight. Beautiful. I'm a fan.
That's called hangover crippler, and that is
didn't know.
I
You
don't
didn't
know if
know.
we can show them. That's vodka. We got vodka right here. We
Right
got
on.
Gatorade. You mix the two. It's a hangover crippler. If you start your night with it, it's just delicious.
I'm feeling good.
It's good, right?
Right on. Yeah.
It's a good flavor. I know.
Yeah.
He's iced tea and Jack Daniels straight out the bottle, but has tried apple juice. So yours, what's your favorite drinks?
Non-alcoholic? Well, I mean, like I drink it daily, so like chocolate milk and espresso is like it's gotta be up there.
I
I've
just-
never heard that. That sounds good. Like
Dude,
I've
it's
heard
like
of like like coffee and espresso, or like hot chocolate and like Bailey's or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of like cold chocolate milk with espresso. That sounds cool.
I started drinking it in college.
Yeah.
And when I started drinking it in college, I realized how much of a game changer it was. And I like ended up talking to my doctor. He's like, it sounds like he's like, the
No,
amount
for
you're
real.
drinking, it
I'm
sounds like
thinking way too much.
He's like, it sounds like you're self-medicating. Do you think maybe
Yeah.
you have ADHD? I'm like, well, they tested me for it before. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
So
non-alcoholic
he's an
drink.
intern. He comes works for me, and then he drinks like he's like, yeah, I had like my breakfast drink. I'm like, what's your breakfast drink? He's like espresso and
Hey, you
like
you
hot
gotta know
chocolate.
what you like though.
No, but I'm like, okay, and then he's like, yeah, I had like 4 of them. I'm like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
had four
espressos,
like you had like 400 milligrams of coffee.
Yo, honestly, like coffee doesn't really hit me like that. Like I've never really been a coffee drinker. And, like the last year, I kind of like I'll have a cup of coffee when I like go out with someone and they're drinking coffee.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, sure, I'll get a coffee, but it doesn't really give me a buzz at all.
Do you think if you had 4 espressos, which is like 8 cups of coffee, you might feel
I'd
different?
probably feel something.
You feel something.
I would
Yeah,
be
you'd feel
surprised
a
if I
little
didn't. You know.
And that was my intern when I first met him, and then he'd followed up with like 4 energy drinks,
Yeah, that
and
was
I
good,
was
yeah.
like, damn,
Oh.
like.
Okay, so he's actually cared more about my health than me. So shout out to
That's good. You know, yeah, it
I
probably
was
have.
sitting there. He's like, dude, you drink a lot of caffeine.
You drink
He's like,
way
"You
too
gotta-"
many energy drinks.
You know, that's probably positive though. It's probably good for like self-awareness. You know.
No, for real.
Oh yeah, no judgment.
And
no
in
judgment.
regards to the alcohol drink, it's whiskey sour all day.
Oh, whiskey
Whenever
sour.
I
I
noticed
go,
that.
whiskey sour is actually great because it helps to combat the hangover as well.
Okay.
Just through the lime and the
Yeah,
lemon.
I found that like if I'm like really drunk and I know I'm gonna wake up the next day like crazy hungover, I try and drink as much water as possible. Like
Okay,
I'll
that's-
drink like 2-3
That's
liters
just
of
solid
water.
advice.
Oh
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Just in case someone didn't know, drink your water.
Drink
bro.
your water.
just one of my
Yeah.
best tricks is every time you have a drink, you have a drink of water as well.
That works.
And then it's just like no matter how much you're drinking, you're having one water as well to go with each drink. So it helps to kind of like pace yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got advice for all you out there who don't want a glass of water after a drink. What I do is I just drink lemon, lime, everything. So margaritas, tequila and lime, tequila and lemon. I'm telling you, this is no joke. You can avoid a hangover by having a lot of lemon drinks. I don't know if it's the acidity in the lemon, but try it. You might be tired, but you'll be the least. The tequila is the least hungover if it's mixed with lemon of all the alcohols.
That's interesting.
What
It's super. It's the truth, man. I'm telling you, it's
what
the
was
truth.
that hangover remedy in Vegas that was
Oh
bad?
yeah. Everybody, we're gonna start selling it. No, I created a hangover aid because I
Yeah.
knew we were gonna be in Vegas.
Right
So it's a combination of a liquid IV and an anti-inflammatory. And so
Liquid IV.
liquid IV is like $4 or $5 a bag. You pour it into glass. And
Where do you
it's-
buy that at? Like a drugstore?
Oh, you can get it on Amazon. There's a couple of
Okay.
them, but liquid IV.
Yeah,
and
because
it
that's
has
the
some-
shit they use in like a hospital.
Yeah,
right?
they use it. Yeah, and so they'll give it to people like in the desert who are like
Yeah.
dehydrated. And so I was like, I did some research, and people were like, you know what, get some liquid IV. And then I was thinking scientifically, and they're like, that gets rid of the dehydration. But
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, science brain, Tony, come.
And then anti-inflammatory.
The anti-inflammatory, because half the pain of a hangover is the inflammation from
Okay.
having acetaldehyde in your body that your
Yeah.
liver has to. So if you take an anti-inflammatory and liquid IV in the morning, within 2-3 hours, you're just like, oh wow, I'm back, and you're just
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, you feel
and it act for real
100%.
works.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So
literally-
not encouraging anybody to drink out there, but if you are going to drink liquid IV, take an ibuprofen. That's a great anti-inflammatory.
yeah, I'm a huge.
You can't do it a lot because
Imagine like trying to sell that. You're like, okay, so we got this pre-hangover package for you, and this'll cure your hangover, and it's pretty cheap.
You heard it
Got a
here
deal on
first.
Yeah, to give you an idea as well, I drank an excessive amount the night before. I woke up like sweating
He was
the
dead.
alcohol out.
He was dead.
And it was
Yeah.
like I woke up, I felt sick to my stomach. I took the liquid IV, put it into water, shook it up, quickly chugged that back. I took an anti-inflammatory, went back to bed for 2 hours. I woke up feeling like $1 million.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, that is wild.
You ever like, cause you drink espresso? I used to do this when I like got really tired during the day. It'd be like I'd be working, and then like I read this thing online where it was like take an espresso and take like a 20-minute nap, and then you wake up and you feel like 100%, and it worked. And I would start doing it. So I'd go on break from work, take an espresso, set like a 25-minute timer because I knew I'd be asleep
5
after like
minutes to
5
sleep.
minutes, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like, wow. what the fuck just happened? I don't know why it worked, but I felt amazing after. Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to give a quick shout out to, and you follow us, get us on. We're looking for sponsorships. Follow us, Ryan Patrick. Jared Martin is saying hello, B the Wiz. I've been telling him all the time, man's wiser behind his years, talking about you.
Good,
and we got
Jared.
Bailey Moffat checking in. You'd
good.
feel a heart attack, and you won't feel a heart attack if you use our hangover remedies. I don't know how we got onto this lane. Started with music, and now we're talking about favorite drinks and remedies, but that's the beauty of Notopicless. We don't start with a set topic, and we just kind of bounce all over the
Feels
place.
good. It's natural.
It's great to have you here. It's really nice, actually.
I appreciate that.
I was really excited to, because I bumped into you. See, the alcohol's already kicking in. No, I'm joking. But when I bumped into you, I was like, because you're I think random guess is where it's at when it comes to a podcast.
Right on. Yeah, we met outside at Envy Music Hall.
Yeah, it was the
Mercury's show.
It was
yeah.
Mercury's.
Yeah.
What was your overall takeaway from the Mercury show? Like, tell me what you experienced there.
It was good. I had like
someone got you in, right? Because you didn't.
Yeah, someone got me in. It was chill. Like it was like an enjoyable night. I was in the VIP section, like chilling and stuff. But there was like some confrontations that was going down.
Oh, that was us.
I did not get to like enjoy my night very much because I was worried about my friend.
Oh, that
I don't really want to be
us though. We were upstairs causing shit.
There was some stuff that happened in the VIP section, but that wasn't really what like got me bothered. It was like my friend was trying to like, I don't really want to get into it because it's really negative.
Yeah, okay, like, I know it's fine.
But like it was just like there was just some things that didn't allow me to enjoy my night. But like it was like it was dope to see Mercury's perform and stuff. Yeah, it was cool to see him because I was, like I said before we started the podcast, I was a huge fan of Mercury's doing
huge.
the 5 Fingers of Death.
Yeah, huge.
On the Sway in the Morning show. That was super cool. Yeah, I've been a fan of him, so it was dope to see him perform for sure. Yeah.
And that happens sometimes, right? Like you go to a show and your boys blow up. They have too many.
Yeah.
Is that your first time having shit like that happen at a show? Like,
no, it's regular. It's regular for me.
It's so unfortunate.
I was excited to see Mercury's perform.
Anything, but
Thunder Bay people get wild.
Thunder Bay people buck wild at big shows.
Even if we're out of town, it's so funny. You can tell people are from Thunder Bay because of how wild we get. People have actually told me that, and I realize, when I hear that.
You know, my favorite thing about Thunder Bay is Thunder Bay people don't give a fuck about the quality or the size of the artist. After a certain point, it's like a bell curve of alcohol.
Okay.
So someone will come to a Mercury show with utter respect, and as the booze goes up, the respect goes down until they're at a point where they're like, I don't give a fuck what Mercury says about me screaming. And I see that with Thunder Bay people.
I wanted to take a second too and shout out Merc because when he
not saying us.
No, I was just gonna say because when he was on stage there, he's seen some conflict breaking out at the front of his stage, and he stopped his set and he was like, "Hey, if there's any conflict, I'm jumping down there and I'm dealing with this myself." And I was like, "Man, like." Tops, man.
For real, that was real. And that's because Mercury's comes from a town like ours where it's ruckus all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's from out west, right?
Vancouver area.
Vancouver,
I think.
Yeah. Right on.
Well, British Columbia, I think.
Yeah.
We did a music video with him with Chief Supreme 7 years ago with one of the MMA stars from up here, and I was just up the street here. I don't think there's anything there anymore. Now it's condos or something.
No, I think it was the gym before.
Yeah, it was a gym, but it was the MMA gym was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
And so we had a boxing ring in there, and a little skinny at the time, Gio, pretended to box this MMA guy. He was just huge. He was just, and we did this whole scene. And Mercury's was like the muddy manager, like getting money thrown at him and being like, he was like ghetto, like he was ripping them guys. It was like cool, right? And then we did the shoot, and we started firing fireworks off outside of the place, and then one of the fireworks hit a power line. It was like it was a fire season, like there's no fires, and the firework blasted and it started a fire in the grass. And then fire trucks came and we ran out. We tried to put it out and the fire trucks came. Allegedly, this is all a fake story.
None of this hypothetical.
None of this like a video. You guys were playing a video game with like fireworks.
No, none of this happened.
Simulator.
This was all on GTA.
Yeah, none of this happened. None of this happened. This is all simulated. And so this fire happens, and it was like 6 of us jumped in like this Toyota, little tiny Toyota, and Merc was like this. He's like fairly bigger dude, and I'm a fairly bigger dude. So we had like there's like 4 in the back seat with Gio laying on top of us, and 2 people in the front.
It's a funny scene.
And we're driving down this clown car down the hill, like going like, what the hell just happened to this? And yeah, and so don't allegedly let fireworks off because you don't know. And into that, what's the craziest thing you ever done?
Craziest thing I've ever done?
Yeah.
Damn.
I love that lead-in.
You like that lead-in? That was a good lead-in, right?
Was beautiful.
That's like fireworks allegedly and stuff happening. And so what's the craziest thing?
Yeah,
Teenage and adult.
Yeah.
Let's go, boys.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like I want to say, I don't know, because like the craziest thing I've ever done is probably like some sexual stuff. So I'll probably just like
shit,
go away
this
from that.
G-Ocean really is with the wave.
No, we're good. But like I'm trying to think of like something crazy that I've done that like was. I don't do nothing too crazy. Like I've like tagged some things.
You seem like a pretty chill dude.
Spray painted some places that I probably shouldn't have. I guess. But like nothing.
You mean like tagging?
Yeah, tagging. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, tagging.
I mean, that's part of the culture, right? What'd you tag, if you don't mind me asking?
What?
I used to tag train cars, like when I was like.
No, for sure, it's fun.
I feel old when I say your age, but I know I'm older.
Putting a footprint on the earth, like I was here. it's like pissing somewhere, and you're like, yeah, this was me. Yeah. But no, I feel like I really haven't done anything like too crazy.
Outrageous.
Yeah, or maybe there's just something I don't want to say, but like
No, I know.
It's okay. All you gotta do is just say allegedly. And it's all okay.
Yeah, it goes all out the door if you just say allegedly. Allegedly. Like none of this happened. None of this happened. We didn't do a music video shoot, and it had nothing to do with
B the Wiz. What was the craziest thing you've ever done?
Craziest thing that I ever did. I mean, okay, so allegedly, I was driving, and I ended up trying to pass this van, and as I was trying to pass this van sped up, and so I was in a position where I was still trying to pass this van, and as I was trying to pass this van, it was speeding up as well. This was going on for like a solid like 15-20 seconds allegedly, and then there was a vehicle coming in the oncoming lane, and so it was pretty much, there was like a split second where it was like I was able to merge before it was like a 3-car collision, and it's stupid of me, and I would never ever allegedly do something like that again. I take my time on the highway now. You can even ask my boss right here. I drive very mindfully now. Isn't that right?
He pissed my wife off driving back from Toronto, for real, allegedly.
Allegedly. I love
it. and I know it's because those fucking vape pens these days are fucking nuts. They're 95%. And I'm not trying to be
allegedly.
I'm not trying to be like pussy, but it's like fucking vape pens like mess me up. They're like, I have one and I'm good. And you guys are like blasting them, but you hit it too hard allegedly, and we were driving back and it hit him, and he was doing about $150 allegedly, and my wife had to remove you from driving, and then you never did, to your credit, you never did that again.
No, I respect people's opinions and safety and stuff like that, because I know that everyone has different levels of comfort and stuff like that, and we can neither say here nor there whether that actually happened, but all I can say is that...
It happened in GTA.
Yeah, whether it actually happened, because these are all hypothetical stories,
These are all hypotheticals.
But all I can say is that with each learning experience comes a lesson, and we love those lessons because they teach us how to... you know what I mean?
Sometimes learning the hard way, like, it's not the way you want to learn, but it's like the best way, because then you're like, you get shook from it, and you're like, you know what, I'm not doing that again.
Exactly. That alleged story of the craziest thing that ever happened to me, that was the exact lesson about passing people.
For real. Yeah. And you don't piss my wife off without feeling some repercussions. She will bring it to you live.
Yeah,
and direct, and to let you know. And she blew up, and I got in shit. I get yelled at the store. Sorry, baby, but this is the truth. I was going to the bathroom, and she was talking out loud, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You're talking out loud so he'll hear?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh fuck, here we go." And so I'm like, "Stop doing that." And then I got in a big fight, and then you came outside. But here's the worst thing, because you're all allegedly all blasted. You were so happy, and so that didn't help anything, because my wife was so angry. And then he's laughing, and he's like, yo, bro, we ready to hit the road? And he's laughing, and I'm like, this ain't. I'm like, eh.
And then as soon as you as soon as you mentioned something, I was like, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah. I think we all made up. We all made up at that pizza joint. In the middle. Okay, so where was that? Outside of Toronto.
I forget where, but I remember the pizza joint. It had like a little veranda, and then there was like a bunch of like seats under it and stuff like that.
For real.
Really good pizza there too.
And so Geosha in the middle of the wilderness, like he's high as all hell. My wife's mad at him. We end up at like one of the top pizza places all of Canada.
Right on.
And they're like, we won the pizza awards. I can't remember the place, but and then they make it with an Italian oven, and it's incredible.
Yeah, like stone oven.
Yeah, and it's like not very expensive. It's like $18 for like a medium pizza that's like one of Canada's best. And so we're in the middle of this fight, and we're eating this delicious pizza, and we're just like sitting away from each other, and then it's just like, holy shit,
this is so good.
And good pizza will bring people together.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah,
I love pizza, man. It's like one of my favorite foods.
Where's the best pizza from in town?
In town.
No, you don't have to hate on who you don't like, but who's got the best pizza?
Even out of town.
No, in town. I want in town. We're gossiping. We're gossiping right now.
No, I feel like I'm like kind of a sucker for some of the like Both Hands is like a very good local place. There's Both Hands Bakery.
Okay.
They do like bread and stuff. Their bread is really good, and they make some pretty good pizza with like a stone oven. But like I'm kind of a sucker for like Domino's and like pizza and stuff.
Shit, pizza. That's
I'm a fan of
ghetto
Domino's.
shit.
Like thin crust Domino's is like one of my favorites.
I think thin crust Domino's for real.
There's
That's the
cheesy
truth.
bread too.
Cheese bread's good.
I
yeah.
love the cheesy
No,
bread.
Domino's thin crust. We're looking for a sponsor.
Because I wish I could say like a local place.
It's actually delicious.
Yeah.
Like it's like
no, it is. Like I didn't want to say like a chain,
right? Because you want to be the corporate
they're
whore.
They're good, bro. They're good.
Honestly,
I'll tell you the truth though. Is like my family's from Boston. I've been there a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like the pizza in Boston, bro. It doesn't even compare to here. Like it's
like
the
it sucks?
it's like the way they make the crust. Like here they use like bread dough. And in Boston they use like pizza dough.
They use pie
dough. It's
dough.
like pizza dough. Whereas it's like here it's not the same.
Well, no, it's not pie dough.
I don't want to trash on Thunder-based pizza, but like Boston is so much better. Good.
In the U.S., the pie, not pie crust, pie dough. It's like pizza pie. It's like
a different recipe.
It's a different.
That's where the name comes from. Pizza
pie. Yeah, it's different. It's different. It's true. Even Vegas, the pizza was killer. It's like but. Okay, so Domino's is the corporate whore chain sellout, and then Both Hands Bakery.
Both Hands
is the local.
I heard they might be like closing down soon, but like they're amazing.
That's because
you can get your hands on some
you eat
Both Hands.
Domino's.
Their bread is really
you're the
good.
reason
you
why
gotta
they're
slice
closing
it
down.
yourself, but it's delicious. What'd you say?
I said you're the reason why they're closing down, eating that thin crust. I'm giving it directly to you. Okay, here's the.
I love it.
That's great.
Okay, here's who's the corporate whore sellout, and who's the local that like you're sticking up for?
Maybe eat local pizza.
Anybody here online? What's your pizzas, man? We're sitting here. I'm looking at the comments.
All right, so
Hot paddle pizza, but owner moved to BC. That's what Jared's
the local
really
place,
interacting with us.
Tomlin Subdivision. For real.
Oh yeah, for real.
Those deep dish pizzas.
Deep dish pizzas.
I forgot about that.
Like so good.
Yeah.
So that's I'm gonna throw that down.
That's the local.
Tomlin,
that's the local. Yeah.
Yeah. And
for $1 million
corporate sellout, I'm a sucker for the stustuffed crust and like Wing Street wings and like Pizza Hut.
Pizza.
Yeah, Pizza Hut. Yeah. The
you guys
stuffed
like chicken wings?
Yeah,
of
course.
I love chicken wings.
You love chicken wings?
Like medium or like hot chicken wings with like ranch sauce.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Buffalo
sucker,
style,
man.
Buffalo style, ranch sauce with hot sauce. Yeah.
Spicy sauce. Like how much hot can you handle?
Oh, I can handle the hot, man. I'm a fan.
You got to come out.
Oh, really? He can handle the hot. Well, we're gonna
hot food in general. Like
we're gonna get G-Ocean.
Indian food is like
oh, bro, Indian.
We're gonna get you back on the show. We're gonna do a wing.
I'd love to come back, man. I'm enjoying my time already.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. That show about wings and the sauce goes up.
Yeah.
That was my fucking idea. I got beat to it. I was on it. Yeah.
Okay. Heartbeat hot sauce is growing. They're doing really good.
It's not very hot though.
It's not,
No,
but
it's
it's
more
flavorful.
flavorful.
It's
Yeah.
flavor. It's
I know,
good.
but it's not my okay. And the
But you like the
one
hot-
love,
you like
one love,
spicy,
like,
right?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's delicious sauce, but it's just not the spiciest. So it's
Yeah.
not in my rotation usually.
Got you.
I find it's hard to make like hot sauce because
That's
you have
delicious.
such a specific clientele that
Yeah.
looks for that hot sauce, while the flavorful
man, I-
sauces are more so for the
Do
masses.
you guys know like Kelsey's?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
over
yeah.
by like
Yeah.
yeah. So like I did a wing eating contest like
Okay.
a couple years ago at that place.
That's awesome.
And it was like hot wings, some others like hotter form of hot wings, and then it was like ghost pepper, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
ghost pepper ones, like they were hot, like it hurt, but like it was disgusting. Like I was eating them and I was like, I don't want to continue because I had to eat 5 hot, 5 extremely hot, and 5 ghost pepper, and I ate the hot ones first, then the extremely hot, and then I ate the ghost pepper ones last, and the ghost pepper ones were like I didn't want to continue eating them because it wasn't like
They're too hot.
Yes, they were too hot, like it was
But
hot,
they're not.
but they were
flavorful.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's just
Like
the
it was
flavor
like
isn't-
painful. I was like, this is gross.
We were talking about that about
Yeah.
Wackies when we not
Wacky's
No.
great in
Yeah.
my opinion.
They have some good wings, yeah.
Yeah, they have good
They
wings.
have some
and stuff
good
like
wings,
that.
yeah.
Their spicy sauce.
We're
though,
still looking
is-
for sponsors, Wackies.
Yeah.
With your delicious wings. And
Like,
speaking
What do you?
of,
So you're not a fan of Heartbeat because it's not hot.
I'm not a fan of,
Okay.
of Heartbeat. It's just it's like Frank's to me. I'm over it.
Yeah. I
So
love
and it
Frank's.
sounds like, and it's just because I'm just at a level like,
Yeah, you just
and
want,
I
you
don't
want the
need
heat. You
I
want
don't
the
need
heat.
like super heat. I just like they have like
nice
they have
spice.
weird they have weird flavors, and it's like I'm not a big fan. Like it's like
Okay.
like blueberry and like
Yeah.
and then mango, and
I
I'm like
the-
I don't
their-
need
Frank's
like
or
fruit.
not Frank's, sorry, Heartbeat hot
Yeah.
sauce. I like their pineapple one on eggs.
Their Louisville hot sauce.
Their pineapple
delicious.
one is delicious.
Yeah, like
The
one of my
Louisville
favorite
is
things to
the
do
one
is
I
just,
would
like,
get.
Yeah.
I like rice and eggs with the pineapple.
You like the pineapple? Yeah, I'm not.
yeah.
Big, I want pineapple in my hot
Okay,
sauce.
okay, yeah.
I was gonna say too. Have you tried Hooligans?
Hooligans.
Yeah, Hooligan Fuel.
Oh, Hooligan Fuel, yeah,
I
can
haven't
get
tried that.
ridiculously hot though.
Yeah, they're
like
really
some of
good,
their
yeah.
hotter sauces are disgusting.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
yeah, they're a good one too to look into for sure if you're a fan of hot sauce.
Some Mexican chipotle sauces I've been enjoying. I'll usually make my own sauce with different bases and stuff, but yeah.
He's got a wicked buffalo ranch recipe.
I believe
I
it.
still remember that, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
for real,
right on.
Yeah.
for real.
Okay. Be the Wiz, can I ask you, like, from like the tracks you've put out like
Yeah.
this year, what do you feel like is like one of your best songs recently?
So my favorite one that I dropped recently is "Love Too Easy." I'm super happy because I got a chance to work with Zoe Z.
Oh, Zoe Z.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so
I know her.
it's funny because like that's my most recent track, and I have like 1/3 of the track is my portion, the rest is her.
Okay, yeah.
So
she's
it's
singing?
never-
yeah, she's singing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
like she
She
does
got
a
some good
verse.
vocals.
Yeah, and then
I
she
really-
does a verse as well.
I really didn't expect him to promote his newest track, but I guess he did.
I mean, I asked him.
So tell us about the newest track, and yeah.
I love it. So yeah, we dropped it on the Monday, and it's out on Spotify. It's out on SoundCloud if you prefer SoundCloud. In regards to that conversation, I was gonna say
this is
SoundCloud
bees,
is a SoundCloud's like I find it's a rapper's platform nowadays.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of rappers that I know are like, yo, just send me either the YouTube or the SoundCloud link. And it's like I find that a lot of artists don't like actually have paid for streaming services where they're paying for like even me, like I don't pay for Spotify, so when I'm listening to Spotify it's just a shuffle playlist, right? But it's like I have a lot of appreciation for the fact that people have these applications still, because it's like regardless of however you hear the music, what's important is that you're catching the music.
You do
know?
have stuff on like Apple Music.
Oh,
or
I have
Spotify, though.
I have music
You don't
everywhere.
pay for it?
Well, it's like it's through my distribution service, which I have paid for as well and stuff like that. So everything is getting out everywhere.
Yeah.
But me personally, I like listening to YouTube links and I like watching YouTube videos, and I also like listening to SoundCloud.
Is there an advantage in purchasing the service? When you're for anyone out there who's wondering or putting tracks up, if you own Spotify, do you get enhanced services for promotion, or is it just like
You don't get enhanced anything for promotion, but like it's a good way to be a little bit more professional, I'd say. Like when people like meet you and they hear that you're on SoundCloud,
yeah,
like it's not that they like degrade that, but like when they hear that you're on Apple Music and Spotify, they have like a little bit more of like a, oh, like he's like a certified artist kind of thing.
Oh, so you'll be certified on Spotify. Yeah. And how do you certify?
It's actually not that hard to get on Apple Music or Spotify. It's like a third party service. Like there's like DistroKid and a couple other third party services. But like it's definitely a good way to like just put out the aura that like you're a little bit more professional and you feel like you like are certified, or like you feel like you have good music because you're putting a little bit more out there, like you know, you're stamping yourself in the game in a little bit.
I was gonna say, just the more accessible you are as well is always a good look. Like you being everywhere as opposed to being on specific platforms is always just the best route.
I noticed you're not on Google Music.
I know. I don't know what's up with that.
Which is so weird to me because they're the second biggest platform.
I was gonna say, so I'm actually
I asked the hard-hitting questions.
Okay, and now so I'm through Revel Distro. Shout out Mike Bonds and shout out to Revel Distro. You guys are awesome.
Okay, yeah.
But
does Mike not fuck with Google Music?
I'm not 100% sure because I had no idea I wasn't on Google Music.
Michael Bond, get on your shit and get on Google Music. That's what I use for my music service. And you know why? It's not because I'm trying to be uncool. It's because they have the largest music catalog. Google Music is the best. And on that note, we are looking for a sponsor. Yeah, like we're looking for a sponsor, Google Music. And so, with the just sheer breadth of how much music you have, we would love to take you on. We'd love to take you on. But for real, I use it because I can find old punk music. I can find old samples. I can find like fucking ancient shit that people have put on. And then YouTube will even be searchable. And Spotify finds like more new shit. Like you find more hip hop, I think, more than anything. And the biggest hits. And then iTunes is kind of like rarefied. Like I find it's like a mix of the two, but I don't think it's anything special.
Also, in regards to your question, when you were touching on if there's a positive about having the Spotify app actually, and like having Spotify and stuff like that, and an account with them and stuff, one of the biggest benefits that I've noticed is the ability to create playlists and share them with your friends, and then have different playlists, because those playlists are going to direct people to your profile if they decide to click on who's hosting the playlist. And once they click on that link, then they're able to see everything of yours if you have playlists created.
Okay, this is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm going to ask a random question, so I don't know if you guys are ready.
Okay, ask a random question.
Right, Tony,
what's up?
B the Wiz. So, totally out here.
Yeah.
Just asking a random question.
Okay, ask it up.
How do you feel about like our purpose as far as like in the universe? You know, you're born on this earth.
Oh, he's put a fucking spiritual
I'm about to
question
go off.
out while I'm drinking. I'm gonna be
like,
talking for an hour now. Oh no!
So like you're born on this earth.
My wife's gonna kill me.
And then you wake up one day and you're like, okay, I'm older than I was when I was a baby, and like I don't really know what I'm doing here. But if someone asked you like, what do you feel like your purpose is on this earth? What would you say?
Who's hitting it first? Me?
You want me to hit it first?
Okay. Okay, it took me a minute. I'm a Anishinaabe guy, so my path has been, a bit of enlightenment on my culture.
Right on.
Early age, I had dreams that came to me. I learned from my elders, and we didn't learn because Canadian, and I'm not going to get into the whole residential thing, but, that shit happened. And then I was always searching. I was always longing for answers. And so I just, it's funny you asked that question because I've asked so many elders. I've asked so many people, homeless guys that were living, like, how come you're here? Like, what happened? Some of them are like shamans who just lost their families and they were drunk in the streets. And it's just been this amazing experience going across Canada, asking what BC Indians and piecing together the puzzle of like what we were before.
It is quite an interesting.
And so to find the answer to that question of who am I? Well, it took a while. And so right now, my best answer is that I'm Anishinaabe and I have a duty to my community. And my duty, because I'm from Thunder Bay, is to grow It's to heal the rift between non-indigenous to educate, and I just do it. Like, I don't do it like I'm not on social media like, yo, Tony McGuire's doing this. I do secret shit. Like, I do free work. I do it. That's my duty. And so I divide myself into duty and passions. So Anishinaabe, this is what I've learned. Anishinaabe used to have duties, and Anishinaabe don't know that anymore, that we have duties. That's
changed.
Say you're an alcoholic, you still have a duty, and so the duty will actually end your alcoholism, because you'll be like, fuck, I got a duty. Like, it's not about me no more, it's about the kids or something, you know what I mean? Or if you were a healer, it'd be, oh well, you know, it's not about me anymore, my duty is to go heal people. And so there's kind of a selfishness that we've learned, and that we don't do our duties no more. But then there's also my passion. And so my duty is to do that. I'm dedicated to that. But my passion is filmmaking, and it's media. And so I'm lucky that those two things crisscross, and that I can tell stories from my past to educate non-Indigenous so that they like me more. Because that's what it's really all about. It's about me being liked more as an Indigenous person. When you really want to think about it, right? Like, because people, if they come in and they're like, oh man, I hate fucking Indians, you know what I mean? And then I'm doing something that makes them go, I like that guy though. Then there's learning going on, and at its most basic egotistical level. So I'm lucky that what I do coincides with what my passion is. And so I think if more people looked at life like that, like ego and passion, and like what you're supposed to do with your ego is a duty to the community, and then you can still have a passion and align them, I think you have healthier people. So that's my long-winded explanation of my purpose and my passion.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, pass it to you, Brando. What do you?
So I actually, that was one thing that I really struggled with when I was kind of coming up and growing up and stuff, was what is my purpose? And kind of like, it's almost like the Rick and Morty skit where it's like, what is my purpose? And it's like, to pass the butter. And then the robot's just like,
oh, yeah.
But in regards to like me and like me looking into like, so I've been reading tarot cards since I was 16. And one of the things about tarot cards is that the more and more you read them, the more and more you kind of learn about yourself, because it's just a reflection of ourselves, I find, and it's a reflection of our energy. So me doing these card readings, I would actively ask, am I en route with my divine purpose? Which is just the purpose that in, like, you know what I mean? In my heart of hearts, I know I'm going to feel good while I'm doing, and I know that I'm going to feel fulfilled and pretty much my path of healing. I know we've talked about my healing a lot and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, it's awesome to me, because it's like, I'm not always at that point where I'm so focused on healing that I can't see the world around me. Sometimes I can get in that state, and that's where it's really nice.
Everyone does.
And that's why it's really good to have people around you for guidance and to look to and turn to and stuff. For me, what I think purpose is pretty much, we're on this earth, and it's just important for us to find that purpose that we attach to and that we feel is the right path for us. Because it's like, I felt I was on the right path for quite a long time, and then some major cataclysmic changes or catalyst changes happened, and I ended up learning a lot about myself. And through learning about myself, my purpose that I felt actually changed. So it was like, it started out with wanting to learn more about the hip hop scene, wanting to basically get to know vets, wanting to get to know the old heads, helping them in order, basically going to film school in order to learn how to shoot music videos, and then working with the community in order to help that grow. Fast forward now, I'm doing a lot of cultural work. I'm working with you, I'm working with Nietzsche Studio. And I've actually had like elders who have dropped wisdom on me, and they've shared good medicine with me, which has been absolutely beautiful. And that's been like, it's like the lessons that I would have learned in 2 years were able to be taught to me in 5 minutes, because of the fact that I was just able to sit down and absorb the lessons that were being taught.
Listen,
and so I think, like, if anybody's out there that is like looking for their purpose and stuff like that, I think the beauty of purpose is that we as individuals find our own. That's my long-winded answer.
He's fucking with that witchcraft, though. So I'm sorry to all our listeners out there, Christians.
Yeah,
but B the Wiz fucks with witchcraft, and so I don't have to apologize for that. I'm sorry. It's against community standards. You son of a bitch. And so
we're looking for sponsors.
And so on that note, we are looking for sponsors. If you have any tarot cards that you want to sell through our no, I'm just messing with you.
Right on.
Yeah. No, we're just messing around. But seriously, if you did want to sell it, we're open. I'm open. The medicine wheel says that we're all on the same path anyways, so we can work with you. Yeah. So I'm curious now because you asked a hardcore question.
I did. Yeah.
Now you're on the hot spot.
Yeah, I'm right here.
You're on the hot seat.
I'm right here. So
in the hot seat.
I've definitely thought a long time about it, and I've been through my own journey, and I feel like what resonates with me the most is like when I make music, especially when I finish a song, when I finish the song and I get to listen to it, like it's really a great feeling for me. And I'm like, wow, I wish I could get other people to feel this feeling. So like the thing that resonates with me is like I want to bring like the world together through music.
I mean, that's noble, right? That's all right.
It feels good for me. It's somewhat selfish in a way because it's like I want to feel that feeling of like collaborating with other people, and like it just feels good for me. But like at the end of the day, it's I guess it's not so selfish because I'm like, if I'm able to like allow people to heal in the way where I'm not just trying to get them to heal so they can like bullshit and like tell me that they healed. It's more like I want them to heal so that they can see the bigger picture. Yeah. And the bigger picture to me, in my own perspective, is that like we're all born on this earth, and so like race and like all these other things that define you as an individual should not discriminate you being a part of the whole. It's just important that we all get to try and thrive together, because it's like the world is a dark place as much as it is a light place. Like there's good and there's bad, and I don't think we're ever going to be able to get rid of that. But I think the more that we can shine light on the things that are community and respect, it's like the more we can like shine light on that and like teach people, no matter who their parents are, because sometimes like we have a parent or guardian or like family member that kind of steers us down the wrong path. And it's like if we're able to educate people in the right way, and it's hard to say the right way, because it's like, what do we really know? Like, how do we really know that like what I'm saying is the perfect thing for everybody to know? But it's like if we're able to educate people in the way that like, okay, this is not only the right way, it's the only way, because it's like, why are we discriminating against each other when we don't even really truly know each other? I really hate the idea of like stereotypes. Oh, yeah. Because it's like, damn, like you don't really know that person. You just know their class or their their race or their line of work. It's like it doesn't really define a person. I mean, you might think that but you don't really know. It's like there's a lot of questions in the universe that float around that's like you think you know the answer to it, but the truth is like you know less than the person that you look down upon. So
I will say that when it comes down to like lighter spaces, you're saying lighter spaces and darker spaces, is that in my experience lighter spaces have better stores and better grocery stores than darker spaces.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And you're from Boston, so I know.
There's some dark, like I've been around a lot of dark places. Like Thunder Bay has its good and has its bad. Boston has its good and has its
Academy.
Bad. But like a lot of the times, like especially in the media, you'll find.
Shout out to my Nietzsche's in Academy.
Like especially in the media, you'll find that they like to gravitate towards the negative, because it brings more
hits, more hits.
Like more people.
It can be.
People gravitate towards that. So it's like, it's just like
it's reaction based.
It's just important to like spread, like put light upon the things that are positive, because it's like not everything's so shit in the world, you know. But it feels like that when everything in the media is telling you that things are bad, you know.
It's hard because it's like what we focus on is what we're going to see.
Yeah.
And when you're like, if you're tapped into the wrong sources and all you're seeing is negativity, then that can be what surrounds you, and when that's happening, then it's hard to see the light.
Yeah, because it puts you in a bad place. Like your whole mental gets fucked up, and like your mindset like changes the way that you interact with not only people but yourself. And like when you're interacting with if you're interacting with yourself in a negative way because of things that you've heard about the world, it's like it really puts you in a bad place to like interact with other people, because then you're like, you know, the world is shit and you're shit and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like so much negative, and it's like it's hard to like, you know, be a positive person, and you might not even see the juice in like being a positive person. You're like, well, what's the point of that, you know? Like,
I love it, dude, because that literally brings me back to, there was like a moment where I had to basically decide whether, like, I was sick of being miserable and like struggling with self-doubt and struggling with a lot of negativity, and I read a book, and it's called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And as I was reading it, there was one law in particular that resonated with me, and it was for every negative thing that you say, try to say at least 2 positive things, so that no matter what, if you're speaking to yourself and you're speaking negative, then you're going to be saying twice as much positive to yourself about yourself as negative.
That's beautiful.
And if you do that, then it actually helps to change like your brain's auto response, because
well, I see, this is where I get to be that guy, right? Yes and no, like because battery died, or our battery died, everyone. You're gonna have to look at Geocean here. He's having a sip of his drink. That was our DMT moment, by the way, brought to you by Captain Morgan's spiced rum. If Captain Morgan wants to
Wait, what do you mean when
you like how I dropped the sponsorship?
What do you mean when you say DMT?
Because whenever there's like spiritual moments on Joe Rogan's podcast, like DMT is like the solution.
You ever done DMT?
I have done DMT.
I also have.
Yeah. Are we good? Am I back live? Hey, look, I'm back live, everybody. Look, I'm moving again. Okay, so I get like the positivity point, like, and you read a book and you got the 7 spiritual laws, and I'm not gonna particularly pick on that, but there's unfortunately room for negativity, because unfortunately people have no choice but to put up with negativity.
100%.
And it can be but it can be dangerous to go down the road and say, like, if you only do this, because people sometimes don't have those abilities to even know what positivity is, because when they try it, they get made fun of, or
100%, bro. And that's a really valid point.
Or even there's no positivity to even know. Like, one of the big things in my community, and I always try to educate on this, is when natives get successful. And I think this is a problem with any, if this is a class thing, like, I don't think it's a native thing. It's anyone who's at an income level. When they get successful, one of the hardest things to do is to celebrate it and to keep that energy up, because you're so used to being
negativity out there.
Or you're so used to being broken down and losing that.
It just feels weird.
It feels weird to be successful and to tell people, and you feel guilty, and that can actually lead to ramifications where you lose your success, and that becomes like a real big issue in communities of like we were saying, like, if we want to divide in like race and class and stuff. And so I kind of like I agree with you guys mostly.
No, I hear what you're
positivity,
saying, because like I totally understand when you say something like that. It's like, okay, like, when I look at a person, like, no matter how much I try and judge them and try and like make assumptions, like, I really don't know what they've been through.
Oh, for real,
like, and like that happens with a lot of people, where they're the opposite, and they assume that they know what they've been through.
Well, that's what you were saying with stereotypes and things
exactly,
like that.
Yeah. So it's like, when you try and assume that like someone's been through something and you don't really know, like, it's really hard, because it's like you don't know.
No one knows.
You don't know.
And that's like,
it would take the patience and the human like heart to be like, what what have you been through, and you would have to take time to listen to an individual's, journey through life.
Yeah.
That's an Anishinaabeg teaching, right? In that we always give someone the benefit of the doubt. And that's historically why colonialism happened, because we kept on, you can't judge new people coming.
So tough.
And so as they kept going, what I love about that is that historically you're recording of people who believe the best out of humans. So the story of Indigenous is the story of my tribe believing the best of the people that were coming. And then eventually there came a point where they stopped pushing and they were like, holy shit, like we've learned from these people. And it's a story of Canada. That's the beauty I take out of Canada, like to get nationalist and be like, but I think Canada became the country it is because of the Indigenous lessons and what happened. And eventually they absorbed it. And then that's when, because things were pretty fucked up in the past, you know what I mean?
100%.
But then it just stopped and started pushing back. They ended slavery. And I think that's directly related to us. And I take pride in that. So it's like a lot of people won't take pride in that, and they'll be like, they want to focus on what happened in the past. But I like that. I like that story that there's like this historical record of these people like oppressed in the world, and it took us to stop that. I think that's a really cool, enlightening story for all of us to celebrate, and that like North America. And it started spreading to other places in the world. We started spreading freedom to other places in the world, and I think that's an Indigenous thing. Like,
I think what you're saying is really true, though, because there has to be, like, especially because, like, if you learn from our past, like, if you ever study history, it's like you have to be, like, logical in the space where it's like, okay, yes, I want to be positive. Yes, I want to spread positivity or whatever you may be thinking. But it's like, if you're not thinking logically, where, like, it's so easy to be taken advantage of when you're trying to be this positive person, because there's so many people that are like exploiting that. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
It's really tragic, but it's just the world we live in. Like what you were saying before is like, yeah, it's great that you guys are talking about positivity, but like look at all this history, and it's like you're so right, because it's like there's yin and there's yang, right? It's like this thing that's revolving. It's like there's always going to be good and there's always going to be bad. And if you think that you can eliminate all the bad, well then like the world would in a way be toxic, because like if everything's always like constantly positive, it's like people could just get away with shit that they shouldn't be able to get away with.
Exactly.
So it's like it's a very difficult dynamic, and I think that it's something that we have to be aware of, so that we don't repeat history, and so that we can like actually grow as not just like a small community, but like as like a group. And when I say group, I mean like the whole world. Like it's like I think the biggest challenge though that we have like as a global race is like communication, because like we have all these different languages and all these different not just languages, like it's like culture. It's like there's so many different cultures, and it's not just religion. It's like the way that people see the world, because like their mindset is like their God is like the only way, and like
we're going down that road.
It's tough. I won't even go too far. I won't go too far. But you know what I'm saying.
What's next you want to discuss? Maple Leafs and the number one team? Like what other controversial? Let's talk about our favorite politicians.
We could just talk about like whatever you want. We could talk about my music, B the Wiz's music.
No, it's good. No, it's good. I get. Okay. No, I get what you. I totally agree. Like,
okay.
Everyone believes they're special and that their worldview is the most number one, because
I think the hardest like realization for people, like most people in the world, is like it's not all about me.
And
because we're raised up to believe that.
And for real, and that's where I was talking about that I walked my path to figure out my duties and my passion, because the duty is something you were ascribed when you're Indigenous, as Anishinaabe in my tribe. You were given that duty at birth, so you'd get a duty. And that's what you knew that was your duty. You'd have to do your duty, and there's no escaping that.
It was like, this is your job.
And so that removed, that's your job, period. Like as a person,
like,
and we don't think like that anymore. But that
now people are like, well, I'm worth more than that.
But I love that, because it reduces you.
Good.
It reduces you to a function of society, because it's like, Tony, what's your duty? My duty is to bring people together. I'm Eagle Clan. I teach people. That's my duty, period. And that's it. And it's so simple. So even when I'm like in a mood where I'm like, oh man, and I'm going too hard, or, you know, back in the day I was drinking too much or doing whatever too much, I still would wake up and be like, okay, shake this off, have a shower. I got my duty to do today.
Yeah, for sure.
And that kept me, and that's why I'm here today.
Right on.
But it's like so many people, I think if so many people would look at it like that, like, what's my duty? Like, as opposed to my purpose. I think purpose is like misleading, because anything could be your purpose.
Yeah.
Like in the Anishinaabe worldview, the most fascinating thing about Anishinaabe worldview is our belief is we pick where we come down as. So I picked Tony. Like back in the day, I was like, I'm going to come down as Tony.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, there's no singular purpose of why I picked Tony. So I could have picked Tony because I wanted to come down and have a delicious hamburger at age 45.
Yeah,
and that's my purpose. You know what I mean?
No, for
so
sure.
So purpose gets aligned so much with the spiritual purpose.
Like, I think it's definitely one of those like
duty is so easy, just to have a duty and do shit.
It's like a revolving door in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can choose anything, and that's perfect. Because like, you can achieve like most of the things that you put your mind to, like whether you like to accept it or not. Like if you really like put your mind to like becoming like an NBA player, like maybe you couldn't do it, but there's like a good chance that like
you go far though.
If you found the right like training program and you found the right people to not motivate you, but like truly like train you to a performance level, like you are very capable as a human being.
Not with B the Wiz. I'm sorry,
say,
there's no training program for B the Wiz.
I was gonna say I love what you're saying 100%, because there's like one thing where it's like I've realized
horrible at basketball.
Oh yeah, I'm no good at basketball. I ain't ever making it to the NBA.
He's horrible at basketball. There's no training program. There's no drug. There's no hydraulic shins you could put in.
So.
I'm just fucking around, B. I'm just fucking around.
What I was gonna say too is that in regards to like, there is that natural duality for sure, and there's definitely a difference when you're stuck in a survival mind state where you're just focused on survival. It's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're just head down, boots to the ground, focused on just the trudging and the marching through the journey. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I 100% understand that. I also think that somewhere between there and like, the cool thing is that you can find motivation in so many different factors in order to achieve your dreams as well. 100%. In regards to you wanting to become an NBA star or whatever.
In my opinion, though, like motivation is like fleeting.
Yeah, well, and so the best part about it is that, like we were talking about this earlier, spite being a major motivating factor in a lot of situations, because a lot of people, how many people experienced a bully when they were younger that was like, you'll never do this, up. And then they either gave up or they put that effort in to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because he said I couldn't.
He said I couldn't.
And so
I feel like that's like, honestly, the way that I see it is like, I've met some like very successful people, and they take things personally.
Yeah.
Like, I've realized that,
as you should.
And personally, like for the most of my life, I've been the type of guy to like I'm like a very low stress type of person, where I'm like, yo, someone says something to me, like I can't do it, I'm like, I don't care, but like
you're gonna do it.
I've realized though that like it's important to take things personally so that you can accomplish your goals, because like there's a difference between motivation and like a need. Like it's not even motivation anymore when like when you take something truly personally, it's like it's not like you're trying to prove it.
It's useful.
Like you're just trying to prove it to them. You're like, I can't do this. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm doing that. Like, I'm gonna show you that I'm doing that. Not for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Michael Jordan did that.
Yeah.
In his career.
You ever seen The Last Dance?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's my favorite player all time. I grew up with him. I grew up in a small town called Wawa, and I'd spend my time.
Wawa.
Yeah, I spend my time between Wawa and Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Come to meet my extended family during the summers, and then my mom would take me to school for a month. Thanks. My mom's not here no more, but thanks for doing that for my education.
R.I.P.
And so I would come meet my extended family because that's important as Indigenous, right? But we used to get Atlanta WGN and that was near Chicago. So we got the Bulls games, and we got on cable. So I got to watch Jordan at like 8, and I grew up, and I was 15. I was still watching Jordan, so he's my favorite player. I wanted to be like Mike, and his motivating, and that's where I learned. I didn't learn it as a lesson, but I learned that spite as a motivation is super useful, powerful, or super horrible, because spite can you can lose your soul over spite.
For sure, because you can like put yourself in a it's almost like a maze where like you're so focused on this one goal, and you get tunnel vision. Where you're like, okay, I gotta finish this thing because he said I couldn't, and it's like, damn. Then you get like 5 years down the road, and you're like,
why did I do that?
I don't even know that guy anymore. I'm never even gonna talk to him again.
Okay. You're like, okay.
But I still stand on my point where like I think that like taking things personally is like important, but there's a balance to everything, and this is my favorite word that I actually.
Right, Jared? Jordan, right?
My favorite word in life is balance, because like there's always gonna be a balance to like your situation. Like just because you think everything is all about this one thing, it's like you better like reconsider, because it's like if you can learn that like there's a balance to things. Like, you'll just adopt a new mindset where, like, okay, like, maybe it's not all about this. Like, maybe I don't have to achieve this, but I'm still going to try. And maybe I'm going to give it my all. But, like, if I don't achieve it, I don't have to beat myself up. I don't have to beat myself up. And it's tough, though. Like,
I feel like this boy from Boston has done some DMT. He's opened his mind up. Because he's how old are you? You're
22.
22, yeah. I can see he's young. He's wise beyond his years. Not saying that DMT is going to do that, but to some of us it will. DMT is an old shaman drug, so it's kind of funny that I see you saying kind of some older person shit, and it's kind of impressive. I'm happy to see you have that mind state, that spite and anger, which are very much the same thing, that you're saying they're useful, but they can't be motivating factors forever, because eventually you'll lose yourself.
You don't want to use them as like your primary resource.
Facts.
In the beginning you can, but if you continue it just becomes hate.
Because like you'll find yourself like down like this. I don't. You could call it a rabbit hole in a way, because it's like it is tunnel vision where you find yourself falling into a niche where you're like. You're not even thinking about your relationships anymore. You're just focused on this end goal. And it's like, maybe the end goal is important, but is it more important than the relationships that you have with the people that you care about?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Maybe it's not as important as that. Because like you see a lot of NBA players, or like any sport professionals, like any professional sport players, where like they retire out of the game, and they're like, I should have spent more time with my family. I'm going to spend more time with my family now. Or, their friends or whoever it is. And it's like, that's like a really hard reality check. That's a really hard reality check.
That's a really common thing, too. People looking back and they're like, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. A lot of people aren't like, I wish I would have worked more. And you guys can feel free to critique this idea. What I wanted to say is on the opposite end of that spite and anger motivation, there is gratitude, manifestation, and then getting better and not bitter. And about losses. And I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on that.
I'm kind of a little more balanced. Like, because everyone makes those extreme calls, right? Like, oh, I should have worked more when they're on their deathbed. Some motherfuckers should work more. Like, that's just the truth. Like, I'm just saying, man. Like, fuck, you can't.
That's water, by the way.
I think there's always room to improve in your community. There's always room to improve yourself, and it's like, as a self-made person, there's always room. So I won't say like finding that balance is important, but I think, and especially in terms of my communities, people are too willing to give up and just like they're like, fuck it, it's not working out for me, and then blame the system. But it's like, no, you got to work through it. So it can be, and that's where I go. Like, everyone's experience is different. And so it's like I always push like it's more important to work, but working on your community. And if you can make a successful living out of it, like money shouldn't be, but money could, So does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it can be.
It can be a motivating factor,
be
but
the
it
end all
shouldn't
be all.
always. It shouldn't always, but sometimes it is because you can do good with resources.
Like I really like the word that you use, balance. Like I said it before, like it's one of my favorite words. Is because like there's a balance to it. Because like when it comes to being bitter, it's like you don't wanna like
work to the exclusion.
ruin your life over this one thing. But yeah, it is important to learn how to work hard, because if you never learn how to work hard, then what can you achieve? You know, like
and balance.
Like, sure, you could be like some successful like model, or like I don't know, something that doesn't require a ton of like effort to like work hard. Not trying to put anything down on models. Like for sure, it's cool. But like I just mean like.
I'm down with models.
I'm super down.
I just think it's important to be like, okay, like maybe like I should work hard, because if I achieve something, that's not only gonna help me, but it's gonna help the people that I care about, that are either my children or my family. But not only my children, like the people that come after my children, they're gonna have something to look up to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like, damn.
Okay, we got to shout out. Jared Martin wants to know, it's G Ocean, and he wants to look up your music. Shout out Jared for interacting with us. His name's G Ocean.
G Space Ocean on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. You can find me. I got like 5 songs on Apple Music and Spotify. What we got? We got Commotions, Less Is More, Tee Up, and Hesitate. And one of my favorite ones is For You, and that's my 5 songs on.
Well, you know what? Take it over, Wiz. I'm gonna go queue up a song.
Sounds
good. We're gonna do it. We're gonna listen to that. We're gonna talk about it. Then we're gonna end the podcast on a good note.
Yeah.
So lead up. Your co-host, take over while I go load it up, and I will be right
let's
back.
Chop it up,
Wiz. So I got a question for you now, because I kind of touched upon it. Like, have you ever heard like, do you know about the word manifestation, and what does it mean to you?
For sure. What does that mean to me? So I think, like, when I think of manifestation, I think of, like, your mindset or your daily, affirmations. So it's like the thing that you choose to, it's like the conversation that you have with yourself. Because, like, when you wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, you're going to do all the things that you're going to do through the day, which is, like, possibly important, maybe not so important. The more important thing is, like, how do you view yourself in the world? And it's like, maybe you don't view yourself as like a really confident, strong individual, but like if you have these affirmations, you might be like, okay, I'm strong, I'm independent, and I'm a creative thinker. And it's like you say that every day, and you start to become a little bit stronger and maybe a little bit more creative and a little bit more independent.
Yeah, like you start to embody those traits.
Yeah, like it doesn't happen overnight. But like if you do it for like a month, 2 months, 3 months, if you do it for a year, all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, like I'm actually like, I am confident.
Yeah.
And I am independent.
Yeah.
And now I am a creative thinker. Like I don't know, it's just
you're
all
sitting
these
back
things.
and you realize after you've already made it up that mountain.
Yeah.
The song is Hesitate?
Yeah, whichever one you want to play.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Using the SoundCloud.
Yeah, like for real though, like
I love it.
Sometimes it's like this thing where it's like, okay, the mind is almost like a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you program it to think in a different way, it's going to think in a different way.
Yeah, dude.
And it's crazy because it's like you think that it's like a joke. Like, oh, like if I just like continue to like program myself to become a more disciplined individual, then it's gonna happen. But it's like, no, like you can do that.
Yeah.
Like it will happen.
Reprogramming.
It doesn't feel real, right?
Is 100% real, man.
Like it doesn't feel real because it's like, no, like it can't happen. And then you constantly like tell yourself that like you're gonna be that guy.
You want to know one thing that I learned too?
Yeah.
Is the moment that we stop letting the people in our lives that say that we can't do things, the moment that we stop letting them have that much power over ourselves to tell us what we can and can't do, and we start to like focus on ourselves and what we want and what we feel and what we like seeking out in life, that's the moment where we start actually tapping into our full potential. Because there's so much people in the world that you know, they might not even be meaning to like be condescending. They might not mean to kind of be like, you know what I mean, making comments that aren't actually for all of our most positive purpose. You know what I mean?
And that's crazy because it's like people will like tell you that like their experience with life is like a certain way, and like that is like the way that you should view life. But it's like they're speaking on their own experience, so they don't know what you've been through, and even if they do, they don't know what you're capable of. They just know what they've, you know,
experienced.
So
they've experienced.
the song.
Yeah, so this is my first song that kind of I put on Apple Music and Spotify. This is like my first breakout song. It's called Hesitate by G Ocean. You can look it up. It's called Hesitate, and it's a vibe, you know? It's a vibe, yeah, for sure.
G Ocean, look it up.
Hey, G Ocean.
Dusty Beats making the hardest tracks.
Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. I only accelerate. This is what I do. All these bitches, yeah, they fucking hate. Put my dick in her mouth just like Colgate. This what I do, yeah, I spit propane. It's insane, it's crazy. I just stole your baby. Only been a couple minutes, now she wanna date me. Now she going down on me like Monster in the 80s. She popping like pistons in a V12 Mercedes. This what I do, ayy, every damn day. Cause I can't, ayy, never ran, ayy. Feel like motherfucking sensei. The way I'm kicking the shit, I don't think you understand. I ain't never gon' break, I ain't never gon' miss. I'ma always just switch. If you ain't fucking with me, I'ma fucking dismiss. Difference between who you think you are and who you are, boy. I'm a star boy, I'm a shooter and I'm shooting far, boy. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never understand why they try to be me. I'm just the underdog, soon to be eaten. If they want me now, just wait till I'm gleaming. Party too hard, juice swirl, yeah, we beaming. Okay, do it all day. This is what we do when we don't hesitate. Still accelerating, I ain't got no brakes. Running over snakes, how I deal with fakes. With a lawnmower like I'm Jonah Lucas. Smoking with a fan, we be joining fucking hookahs. Too high, don't even know where it took us. New dimension, but we really still be getting took us. Damn, welcome to Astro World. Don't bring her around or I'ma take a girl. She gonna ride more than just to touch the world. New Walt Disney, I'ma change the world. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Facts though, yeah, I got raps, bro. Astro, haters, I'm a aggro. Act tough, boy, I'm a debuff. Let's get rough. Talk no walk, same stuff. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never hesitate. Hesitate me, nah. I ain't never. Hesitate me, nah.
For sure.
All right, that was G Ocean Hesitate, produced by Dusty Beat.
Yeah, that was the guy I met in high school that we did the English project with.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Right
Long
on.
time friends.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we went out for wings at Kelsey's like a week ago.
Dude.
Yeah, right on.
Okay, and so we're winding down. So tell us where everybody can find you and what you intend to do in the future. Maybe give us a future look. What do you intend to do in the future before we sign off?
Okay.
And, let's
So you
hear
can
it.
find me on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, a couple other platforms. G Ocean. And that's the way you can find me and what I'm looking to do in the future. You can also find me on YouTube. I have about like 3 music videos out right now, and I'm definitely looking to do some more. So I'm excited to continue my journey there.
Yeah.
And like I definitely have some songs in the archive. I'm working on music all the time, so I'm excited to release some more music. I might even be performing at this show at Atmos tonight with Beijing Records and all that.
Yeah, shout out Liam to your
shout
show.
out
Everybody
Liam,
go.
Yeah, B the Wiz is performing tonight, so shout out B
Are
the
you
Wiz.
performing it?
Yeah, I am. I'll be
Yeah,
on
yeah,
at
yeah.
11
Okay.
p.m.
Right on.
We're actually, so for everyone who's tuning
on.
in right now,
Oh, yeah.
we're actually, me, Shellac, and Cruzo are going to be doing some of our Young King songs. So, if you're a fan of those group songs that we've got, then feel free to come on out and enjoy some of those.
Young Kings coming out of the woodwork.
100%.
They contacted each other. They're making it happen tonight.
Yeah, I haven't
Young
done it.
Schlack's coming out, so let's wrap up. I'm
haven't really-
probably gonna head out tonight. We'll see.
I haven't really 100% made it. I haven't made it yet, but I plan on making some more like conscious music where like I'm talking about like just things that I believe in.
That's beautiful.
Like people like coming together through my music.
Okay.
And like really like spreading this love and like, you know, it might not happen right away, but I really feel like I have a potential to really like bring people together, and I'm excited for it because it's like it might not happen overnight, but like I'm gonna stick to it. You know what I'm saying?
Stick with it.
Like I'm not gonna give up on it. So like I hope that like whoever joins the journey early will be excited because like, you know, it'll reward them like, you know, through the future.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like something that like really, it doesn't have to be like something that's like, you know, like gratifying, but like in a way I hope it is because I really want to like spread my message to like the world, you know, and that'll take time and I gotta be patient with that. But like I know for sure that like I have potential and I want to stick with that.
All right.
Yeah, right on.
And are we ever gonna see Be the Wiz G-Ocean collaboration or anything along those lines?
You know, I think we could for sure because, you know, we're both local artists in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and like if you want to sleep on Thunder Bay, Ontario, you can go sleep with the Giant.
Well, on that note, co-host, you have any parting words?
I was gonna say, if you're interested in making conscious music, I would absolutely love to tap into that as well and work with you on that. In regards to you saying it's not gonna happen overnight, there's an expression that I learned when I was younger, and we're never too old for baby steps. So in regards to whether it comes out like, you know what I mean, in a month or
I
a
play
year,
basketball all the time, and I love the stutter step. You know, like it's like a hesitation dribble.
Okay, we got
Couple
a baller
stutter
here.
steps,
I'm a
couple stutter
baller.
steps, and then I cross, maybe hit a jump shot in your face, and it's like, you know, I've been practicing that.
We got a
It's
baller
not-
here.
I was gonna
like
say
some-
we got to get some basketball games going.
Not
So-
you.
I'm
Not
actually
me.
playing
Definitely
I'm
me.
playing
Definitely
in the men's
me.
league tonight. I got like a men's league game tonight.
Oh,
A couple of
yeah?
my guys
do
are
you?
sick
Yeah.
too, so I'm gonna be like,
Oh shit! We're
trying to put on.
doing old school Boston Celtics. Got you a few drinks in you before you go to your game.
yeah, I'll talk shit. Hey, like, you guys can't beat me. Man, I'm the shit. Yeah, you can't fucking beat me. I'm the best.
So that was G Ocean's in the studio. For everyone who tuned in, thanks for showing up. We're gonna have a new guest next week. We're gonna start doing the regular cast. These are gonna be Thursdays at 3s or Friday at 5. We're not sure. Might do both. We're figuring that out. But we have some big guests coming. Some really big guests. It's like surprising how big our guests have gotten for our upcoming shows. So we're gonna announce those. And you know, shout out Michael Ate It. No.
Shout out Michael.
Shout out Michael. No, I'm just fucking with you. No, we're just bugging. But so and as one final thing, we are looking for sponsors. We are looking for listeners. Tune in, subscribe to us. It's a lot of fun doing this. It gives us something to do on a Thursday or Friday that's healthy and positive. And so we look forward to seeing you next week. And I think you may be the co-host next week, or it might be Chief Supreme. We don't know yet. We're going to announce that. So if you're looking for sponsoring us, this is who you're going to contact. Info at theymedia.com. Brandon at theymedia.com. And on that note, we're going to sign off.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.
Word.